Oh, I forgot my coconut water. What's up, guys? My name is Zach, also known as Crown, and I got something a little special for you guys today. Before I go ahead and get started in this project file here, I wanted to say that this whole song is made 100% from the new Sonic Weaponry RIDDIM supply drop. Now, Sonic Weaponry was extremely kind enough to send me over the pack so I can go ahead and make a song and show you guys just how great of a pack this is. Now, along with the drop itself, it does include 7 different packs. I have it pulled up on screen here, everything that it does include. Over 3 gigabytes worth of tools, samples, everything, over 650 different kind of presets, samples, already one-shots, basses, drum kits, mixer presets, got FX, literally everything you need to make songs. I had no trouble whatsoever making a full song out of this, but no, like genuinely the pack is great. I will be using this from now on in the future, all the other songs I make, but no, really go ahead and check it out. Right here I have it on the screen. I'm pointing as if you can see where I'm pointing at, but on screen here it shows everything that is included with the pack. And just for you guys, if you use code CROWN, you get 10% off your entire order. So please go ahead and check it out. I'll link it in the top of the description. It's genuinely a really good deal. Like I said, I'm going to be using this a lot. I like it a ton. I'm not just saying that. I really do like it, and I really recommend you guys go check it out. So, enough talking about that. Let's actually get into the tune. Alright, so starting off with the intro section, I'm going to go ahead and let it play, and then I'll break it down. Alright, so let's talk about it. But to start off, like every other culturally accurate, lore accurate rhythm, you want to have that. I don't know why I'll have a random hi-hat here, but I'm just going to keep it. You got that classic, I don't even know what to call it, 2x4, 4x4, just that kick clap, kick clap. When you want to make the traditional kind of rhythm stuff, you just claps are the way to go. Snares are kind of doing their own thing. They're not really even in the picture, but no, good clap. I like a nice nice reverby, roomy sounding clap. Just kind of fill some gap. Layer 2 of them on top of each other, make it a little more unique. Now for the more melodic aspect of it, I have this sample that I dropped down. Thought the pitch bend going up a semitone sounded cool. And then I also have a couple impacts right when you start the song. And at the very top, I have this kind of just texture, kind of moving sound. Kind of sounds something you'd hear. Sounds like something you hear from Void, and I kind of liked it. It all just kind of meshed together good. And then halfway through the intro, I just threw in some hi-hat loops. Right before the drop, I just took out the main pad loop and just had a little riser come in, just to switch it up, give something your ears to have fun with, I guess. But yeah, that's basically the intro. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, just to get the song started and situated. Now, on to the build-up. So I'm going to go ahead and play it first, and then we'll break it down. Alright, so now we got some action going on here. So, first things first, I kept the same pad from the intro just to keep the fill. I did add a downfall noise kind of just to help with the transition, just so it's not so jarring, just kind of get some fluidity going on. Now I kept the same kick, but this time I got the kick doing its build-up pattern, I guess. Going on here. coming up right before I threw it into a triplet. Instead of going into eighth notes, I just went ahead and did triplets. Just thought it sounded cool. Now on top of the kick, I layered a clap that just gives it that, like, you'll hear it in a lot of songs, just that, I don't know, that more driving force. Towards the end here, I just put a pitch automation on it just to give some more motion. Now with all the effects combined, I added some risers from the pack. So I have the one going down, and I got the more coming up. Now just to tease the actual main bass coming in, I went ahead and just put some on every bar, and then half, and then quarter notes. When the drop does come in, to make it more impactful, I went ahead and on the master channel, I took a EQ, and you can see the automations here. Let me get this out of the way. I have this part here automated, so it sweeps up, just cuts the low end out, so when the drop does come in, it hits a little harder. I should probably play some music with it so you can actually hear the effect itself. That'd be good. Of course, you can, it's up to your discretion. I like to add sidechain onto my buildups. It just adds more oomph, gets the drive going. Actually, here, let's talk about sidechain real quick. So most of my songs, so if you look at it in my previous tutorials, I am extremely unorganized, but I'm unorganized, but to me, I know what's going on because I always have everything laid out the same way. Channel 1 is always my sidechain. When I want to sidechain things, I just route them to 1, but usually the first few are my main. 8 is always the sub because 808, I just have that stuck in my head. Not that matter, it's all up to you, but just throw it all to one channel, and then I throw a fruity balance on. I right click it, and then I create an automation clip. And I usually like to you can make your sidechains, the envelope, however you like. I like to do it this way. That's just how I like how it sounds. So that's how I like to do it. You can do it however you want. Feel free to copy me. I like it. Right before the drop, I cut it off one measure right here, and I have a couple vocals from the pack also that I thought sounded pretty cool. Do that, and this boy right there, cut it off a little short for the drop. All right. So now we're into the meat and the potatoes, the drop, everyone's favorite part. I'm going to go ahead and play it through real quick. So we got some stuff to talk about now. So I'm going to go ahead and actually start with the drums. I feel like the drums are always going to make or break the song itself. So I'm going to go ahead and play those. Well, actually, this first little chunk right here is kind of like a fake out. And then here it comes. It's pretty simple. I just got a kick. Got the 2 claps from earlier. I took this other clap, threw it in there, threw a little pre just to give some more oomph when the beat actually fully drops in. And then I just have a hi-hat loop going on. But the drums are actually pretty simple. Didn't do much with them, but I like how it sounds, so I kept it. Now coming on to the actual basses themselves, not the sub, just the basses. I went ahead and I like this sound. I thought it sounded pretty cool. Right after that comes in, I have the actual rids. I don't know what you'd call them. The RIDDIM, RIDDIM, rids. I'm going to call them rids. For the sake of this video, I'm going to call them the rids. But I have some rids coming in. And if you notice, they're slightly off meter. I'll put the metronome on so you can hear it better. You can hear how the metronome hit first and then the actual bass. I like to call that wonk. It's got some wonk into it. It just kind of gives it that more, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just wonk. Gives it that relaxed feel, like that jump around kind of thing. Because if you had it right on the beat, it's pretty boring. I'll go ahead and show you guys real quick. Like, it sounds okay. It works, but if you were to just throw it off, then it gives it that traditional feel, I guess. Like that, it's that sound that you want. So go ahead and whatever basses you have, I always just kind of throw it off. If it doesn't sound right, even honestly, you can even throw it back a little farther. But it gives that groove to it. And then going on talking about the pattern, I just have the pattern kind of switch up every once in a while, just to get some variance, just to give some more. Now the sound that I use is, of course, from the sample pack. Now it's great on its own, but I wanted to chop it up and make it more of a quarter note. And then this top note here on top of it. I thought they sounded good together. And the effects I have on it, at first I have the low end cutoff because I have a dedicated sub. A lot of these samples too come with subs built in, so if you don't want to make your own sub, or if you like just the sub how it is, like, you can just rock with that. But I went ahead and cut the subs out, crease the highs just a little bit, put on a stereo enhancer just to widen the sound just a tiny bit, and then a reverb. And that reverb does, it lets, if you're making a song and let's say that you got the drop going and it doesn't feel full enough, throw a reverb. A reverb just, it does so much. I'll give you a quick example. Like, I'll do it with the reverb and then without, and you'll hear. Now if I take that off, like, it sounds okay, but just that reverb, it just fills in that gaps. It fills in the gaps. It fills in the sound. That's usually what I do when I'm stuck and I'm like, man, it doesn't sound good. Throw in a reverb. Now there's not too many effects I have on it. I do have this kind of, like, I don't know how to explain it. Well, it's a downsweep, but I liked it. Creates some more things for your ears to play around with, listen with, and it just adds to the overall sound. Now, here's the meat. I call this the potatoes. This sub is what makes the meat. Now this is the sub I used to beef it up. Put a wave shaper, just kind of oomphed it up a little bit, gives it some oomph. EQ, took out some of the highs, just in case there's any sort of high end, just to get that down, create some space for the other elements in the song. And I threw a fruity distortion on it just to give it a little more crunch. So that's without the distortion. With, just creates some more edge to it that I like. And then same thing too, you can see here I took, instead of starting it straight up, cut off the start of the sound just to, I'm pointing at the screen again, like you guys can see, just to match when the other sounds come in. Follow along the wonk. I do have a pitch automation. Just for fun. You don't want a pretty straight flatline sub, just to give some more movement. Thought it'd be cool to kind of chop it up. So right this section here, I did like I did a 1/4 step and I just chopped it up so it has a little glitchy sound. Thought it sounded cool. And then as the drop progresses, I just kind of changed up. I took this main bass from earlier and I just kind of threw in some different chops just to get the flow different. It's kind of like when you listen to rap, like you'll hear them switch up the flow just to keep it interesting. Same thing with rhythm too. Like if you just have the same bop bop bop, it's cool, but changing up the flow just makes it interesting. Now coming into the second half of the first drop, I have this one shot I found. Thought it sounded cool. I took the same glitch sound, but I just isolated it so I can wait. Actually, what is this sound? That's not the same sound. Oh, square. Oh, I took the Squidward square. I was gonna have that right before, but I didn't like how it sounded just raw, so I just kind of did the same little glitchy effect. going on to the midsection. The midsection now, honestly, is it's pretty much a copy and paste from the intro. The only difference really is instead of those two main impacts at the beginning, I swapped it out for just a simple noise. Is essentially the same as the intro, but it sounds good, so I kept it. I feel like a lot of this stuff too, trying to make songs, make music, it's a lot of just, does this sound good? I know that's kind of stupid to say, but like I sit here and I'll mess with sounds. Like the drop, I probably put 30 different sounds in it before I found something I like. It doesn't have to, like, just feel free to experiment with things. Even if it's not the most complicated thing in the world, it doesn't have to be. If it sounds good, it sounds good. Don't need to make it overly complicated on yourself, you know? The second drop too I made, it's essentially the same as the first drop. I just changed up the flow on some of it just to differentiate it from the first one, except I do have a little mini fake out drop. But like I said, this was 100% entirely made from the RIDDIM supply drop from Sonic Weaponry. It's great. And just to give another example, like an hour ago, I whipped this up. I'll prove it to you real quick. Info. If you look at the very bottom here, total time spent on it, 8 minutes. It took me less than 10 minutes to sit here. It took me less... Oh, I forgot. There's a hurricane coming tomorrow morning. I'm getting like notifications. Like I said, this took me literally less than 10 minutes to make. This is all from the sample pack. Now to round it all up, on my master, this is like everybody's, how would I say this? It's like everybody keeps this a secret because either they want to gatekeep it or they're embarrassed. And I'm honestly more on the embarrassed side because I don't know, mastering is a whole nother beast when it comes to this stuff. Mastering, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get better with it. I threw on a Maximus and I like to go towards if you go to the presets, I like to go either Clearmaster or Clearmaster RMS. I don't know if this is proper. It ends up sounding good to me. I like it, so I do it. You guys can roast me if that's completely improper. I throw a sound goodizer on the master. On EQ, I went ahead and I just do the preset. I cut off 30 hertz to 18k hertz just to kind of clean up the sound so you don't have any of those stray random frequencies going on. Throw on a soft clipper just to create the whole sound, give it a little more volume, a little more oomph to it. I'll play the difference with it all off. So throwing them all back on. I was never good enough at real life skateboarding, so I resorted to tech decks. So yeah, here is the song in full. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, please go ahead and check out that pack by Sonic Weaponry, the RIDDIM supply drop. I'll link it in the top of the description. Please use my code CROWN for 10% off your order. I just want to say thank you to Isaac. Thank you to Sonic Weaponry for giving me the opportunity to work with it. I had a lot of fun making this song. If you guys want me to release the song, let me know. If you feel like there's some things I left out or things I can improve on, please also let me know in the comments. I just want to, every time I make a video, I want to improve it the best I can. But if you guys liked it, please leave a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you want more content like this, let me know. Go check out my socials. I'm mostly active on my Instagram. I am an Orlando local, so you'll see me downtown, places like Fixtion, Vanguard. Like I said, I'm always posting that stuff on Instagram, so please go ahead and follow me there. But yeah, no, that's really about it. Thank you.